What are these things I bought at an estate sale? It seems to be vintage lipstick-sized cardboard tubes that say break-in center and stretch and fluff lengthwise. It was found at an estate sale and seems to be antique or vintage. They look like Christmas crackers. You break them open and they crack from a cap inside. Or party streamers that they could be thrown over something to drape. Does anyone ever come across one of these before? They are old-school sanitary napkins made by the Compressed Products Corporation in the early 1900s. These would be pre-self-adhesive and come with a disposable belt in each tube. That final picture shows one that is Delicate, which is a brand. They were attached to a belt with little clips, like a garter belt for pads. The pads were as thick as a deck of cards and had long tabs front and back that you had to hook through the clips on the belt. I remember learning about them when reading "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret" as a preteen. I was so glad we have adhesive now, so I didn't have to wear a dumb period belt. What is this thing I found in the garage? It's made of steel with measurements on either side. We found this when we moved in, and I have no idea what it is. I tried a Google search with the pictures I have, but couldn't turn anything up that matched. It is red if you couldn't tell by the pictures and beveled on one side of the disc. Any idea what it would have been used for? I spent 3 to 4 hours Googling this thing and did not find it until I found this guy on YouTube. It's a trailer lock or a trailer coupler security device. You put it in a trailer coupler, then you lock it. What is this carpeted table with pool balls and areas to catch the balls on either end, seen at an estate sale? It looks like a homemade game of some kind involving a carpeted surface and billiard balls. Any ideas? It's a carpet ball table. Carpet ball is a popular camp game based on a 19th century parlor game. It was originally popularized in Midwestern youth camps in the late 1970s and early 1980s. I grew up playing this. They had some at my church youth group, and I saw them at summer camps also. I don't remember ever seeing them in the South when I was young. What is this thing made of wood I found at a thrift store? It rotates and has alternating metal knobs, approximately 10 inches high and 4.5 inches in diameter across the base. Do you have any ideas on what this could be? It's a towered Susan server. It was patented on June 12, 1956 by William D. Warren of New York City, New York. Lipped bowls can be nestled between the brass knobs and wooden rounds to provide a truly unique hors d'oeuvre appetizer tower. What is this very old leather cylindrical container with a sectioned off middle, a handle on the side, and a strap that I think goes over the top? We found this in the antique store we inherited. It looks like it has been repaired at one point with a newer handle. It's pretty obvious the handle isn't as old as the rest of it. I suspect it's like an arrow quiver that's missing its bottom, but I am not an archer. Others have thought it held some kind of weapon, but the strap appears to go over the top, which wouldn't make sense as a holster. It also has an interesting leaf-like pattern on it. I'm just wondering if anyone has a clue. It's an antique clarinet case, missing a lid that was sewn to the leather strap. It was made by Leopold Ullmann and Sohn in Vienna, Austria in the 19th century. The company was an extremely important manufacturer of woodwind and brass instruments. It supplied the Austrian army and exported worldwide. I have an old military band clarinet in a very similar case. What is this cast aluminum and steel tool I found at a thrift shop? The head has a steel plate on the underside that moves up and down over very sharp, chisel-like blades that are seriously sharp. The entire tool is about 12 inches long and maybe 2 inches wide. It looks like it is probably 1940s to 70s, and either rarely used or extremely well maintained. It is clearly meant to press down into something, with the plate lifting as the blades sink in. The style of the piece and the aluminum handle make me think it could be a kitchen implement, but I have no idea. Have any of you seen such a thing? It's a bladed meat tenderizer, likely from the 1930s. I used to be on the cleaning crew at a meat packer. I had to clean 4 of those every night. What is this thing I found while metal detecting on an old logging trail from the late 1800s in northern Minnesota? It was found along with axe heads, ox and horseshoes, square nails, chain links, etc. This was around 6 inches deep, and it appears to be copper or bronze based on oxidation, not magnetic. It weighs 1 ounce and is 1.5 by 1 5/8 inches. It appears like it was connected to something on what I assume is the backside, almost like a clasp or buckle or something, but I'm really stumped by this. Any ideas are greatly appreciated. I'm pretty sure you have part of an antique padlock. I have the same piece, plus a full one I also found metal detecting. The X design was popular from the late 1800s up to the 1940s timeframe. What are these things I found inside a Cold War aircraft bunker in Croatia? They are fiberglass-like strands packed in circles divided by cardboard wadding. This was found in Zeljava Air Base. Each section was around 1.5 centimeters tall and had a similar diameter. Have any of you seen such a thing? It's a chaff, formerly known as window in its early days. It's a radar countermeasure utilized to confuse and disrupt enemy radar systems. It comprises small, lightweight strips or particles of aluminum-coated material, metallized glass fiber, or plastic released into the air from aircraft or ground-based platforms. Upon deployment, dispersed chaff produces a large radar cross-section intended to blind or disrupt radar systems, creating false targets and obscuring the actual location and identity of aircraft or military assets. It was discovered by Joan Curran in Britain in 1942 and became a crucial defensive tool for Allied forces, particularly in strategic bombing campaigns. What is this small piece of machined metal with the number 10, a triangle, number 44, and G's engraved on the side? This was found by a friend of mine in a house built in 1892, but it's definitely more recent than that. I guessed maybe something from a typewriter or something adjacent to that, but I've really got no clue. Definitely a small part of a larger thing, and looks like it was oiled, and maybe snapped into machined holes on other metal bits. Any idea what this is and what it is used for? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.